the Sonic Frontiers embargo has lifted, and we finally have some actual numbers, at least when it comes to the review scores, where Sonic Frontiers earns a grand total of 73. So far, which is unfortunately not the greatest score in general, but there's more to it than numbers can describe. Like, what does it mean for the context in terms of a Sonic game? Will the score for Sonic Frontiers improve over time? Does Sonic Frontiers meet the expectations for Sonic fans or a general audience? And most important, does this review score reflect Sonic Frontiers accurately? Well, let's break it down. And with no spoilers, of course. So a 70 to 75 review score doesn't seem all that impressive, especially when other titles around this time have gotten better scores. But when you take a look at the recent Sonic entries around it, this score is actually quite promising. It's actually on the higher end for most modern Sonic entries. In fact, it's very close to Sonic Generations, which is quite an important feat, especially knowing the fact that this is already a new direction Sonic is going in as a base, versus what Generations already improved on. Furthermore, compared to other games, Sonic Frontiers has probably one of the biggest pool of critic reviews compared to other past titles, which gives more weight to the score. It shows that there are more people looking forward to play this entry, which can be perceived as a good thing. How, you might ask? Well, when looking at the numbers, we can conclude that there's more people outside of just loyal Sonic fans that are wanting to experience the game, and have gotten pretty good first impressions of the game, thus contributing to an above average score for a Sonic game. So that fat 73 shouldn't be taken so lightly, as there's more of a general audience factoring into it. It also could mean that there's just more people involved with Sonic now, which, good or bad, is still successful publicity in the eyes of a company, as Sega themselves probably don't care if Sonic Frontiers wins Game of the Year, but rather it's going to get people to talk about Sonic as a franchise. It's just kind of the reality we live in. Now, on a development level, there seems to be some divisiveness reflected in the score, as the general consensus is that there's so many different things being thrown at a dartboard, it makes sense that you're going to get an average median. But again, the major takeaway is that if you take a look at this from a lens of a draft or a base model for a new direction, it serves as a very good initial product to flesh out some of the good potential ideas here. And that's what I think this score represents in its entirety. Really good potential. And to be honest, it's been that way ever since the beginning with IGN's showcase. But where Sonic Forces may have taken 2 steps back, Sonic Frontiers is making up for it to get the franchise back to its baseline track. So hopefully in the next entry it will really put on that momentum. And speaking of which, you can tune in tomorrow on November 8th where we'll get to experience this live, where this will be my first modern Sonic game experience. So if you haven't already, subscribe to keep up that momentum. It only takes about 2 seconds for this absolutely free and premium content. And like always, you can change your mind at any point. Mr. Bane out.